Hey sis, welcome to Bring It to Your Sister.
We're Lexi and Chastity, just two certified yappers that God knew would be unstoppable as sisters.
So he made us best friends instead.
Join us in this space to laugh, cry, vent, praise, and feel seen while we figure out motherhood, marriage, and womanhood by chasing grace and grit through homemaking, homesteading, faith, and everything in between.
Now pull up a seat and grab your favorite treat me drink because there's always room for one more sister. Hey sisters, we're so glad you're here today to join us. Today we're going to talk about motherhood, our journey into motherhood. Both of ours is so different.
Yeah, for sure. They're different, and I feel like each one of mine have been different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Annie and Augie were the most alike, for sure, but
Mhm.
they have a little unique way. But you go first. I'm eager to hear yours. I feel like we've not talked very much about yours.
No?
I have. Well, no, we
I
have
guess.
not, but I have forced you to listen to mine multiple times. This is going to be a long one.
Yeah.
This may be a two-parter.
Yeah, for sure.
Mine takes forever.
I mean, 3.
There's 3, and I
Yeah,
got detailed. I'm sorry. I just gotta tell you. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, and mine's
I
only
wish
1.
somebody would have told me. I wish somebody would have told me the real side of
The
it.
ins and outs.
Everybody seems to think I'm a pro
Mhm.
and that I know what I'm doing now that I have 3 kids, and I think that's so odd.
That's
What an odd
wild.
thing to say
Yeah.
that
Well, you've said
that
that
I
about
must
me,
know
and
what
I'm
I'm
like,
doing.
that's insane.
My mom's talking to each therapist that she knows, and she was saying that I have other intuition, that I definitely should
Mhm.
have it because I have 3 kids, and I was like,
Yes.
"Wow,
But
how bold of her to assume that." I
I
mean, I
know.
have it,
I agree.
but
Yeah.
just because I have 3 kids, apparently I'm qualified for a
Yeah.
lot. I'm not even 25 yet. I won't age after 25, though. I'll be 25
No,
forever.
you're gonna be 33 one day.
Oh, shut your mouth.
I'm gonna point out the main difference between our stories. A lot of people probably don't know, new listeners or people who don't
Yes.
know us personally. James is adopted,
Yes.
and all of your children are biological. Josh and I struggled for a long time. We started saying that we were trying in like 2013, not very long after we got married in 2012.
Okay.
We moved into a house in 2013, and it was a few months after that. Before that, we were like, I mean,
Were you
if it
ever on
happens,
birth control, though, or was it just
mm-mm,
okay.
no,
So you're just pulling and praying,
just
or
yeah. Oh, no,
no?
no,
Okay.
just
So really
fully
it's
living on a
never
prayer.
been okay. So
No,
really there's never been any protection from it, I
no,
guess. Okay.
maybe once or twice
Some part you
in the
had to kinda
beginning,
just be you had to be somewhat okay with having a kid the whole time y'all
for
been
sure.
together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. If it happens, it happens,
Yeah.
especially after we got married.
Yeah.
Before we were like, you
I feel
know.
like it's really weird to say, but, like, I feel like that's how Cutter and I always were.
Mhm.
Even as teenagers, of course, as teenagers, literal babies, we
Yeah,
didn't want to have
of
kids,
course.
but I was always on birth control.
Mhm.
But, I feel like especially when you're a teenager, it's always the, "What if I'm not 1% or
Mhm.
whatever?"
'Cause it
And
happens.
yeah, and we always said, "Hopefully it didn't, but if it did,
Mm,
we'd figure it out."
and here's a little always use protection.
Yeah.
If you really don't
Yeah.
want a baby, please use protection.
It's okay to not want kids or not be ready
Yeah,
or to not ever want them or not know or whatever.
right.
But maybe just don't bring them into the world if you're not sure,
Right. Yeah.
because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take on.
Yeah.
But if you did if you
Oopsies.
were, that's fine.
We're all a little
Yeah, we're
oopsies.
all
I
little.
was.
My brother was an oopsie.
Oopsie.
Whoops. I'll tell his birth story one time. I'll tell it. So we've not really talked about your entry into motherhood and all of that,
Mm-mm.
the birth story and everything. We've not really talked about it a whole lot. I feel like we've talked
Mm.
about it a little bit.
Here's why mine might be a little bit shorter,
Okay.
is because I don't wanna tell his full story.
It's
Part of
not
it's
all
my story to
yours.
tell, but it's not all mine to tell.
Right.
So, some of it won't be told. And not that there's anything super crazy
Yeah.
to say to
But it's
tell,
just
it's just
not all
that's
yours.
his. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's adopted.
And that's
We
fair.
adopted him, and we love him.
And he knows, so he knows he's adopted.
Yes, we talk about it. We have, like, books ever since he
Okay.
was little that we've read, and we just, like, mention it. We're not like, we're not out here like, "You're adopted."
Okay.
But it's
I
just
will
like
try my best to never accidentally make that joke towards your child.
I've had to say stuff to my brother before, like, he'll say, like,
Because
my
it's just a
little one,
common
and
joke.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is, and I'm like, "Hey, like, let's maybe
Yeah.
not." Like, I hate being that kind of person, like,
No,
that gets offended, by silly stuff, and I'm
but
like,
yeah.
Maybe let's not joke about adoption because your
Well, you don't
nephew is
realize.
adopted. You don't know if that might hurt his feelings one day."
Right. I think something that you have told me about is, and something that I've not heard much about, was the side of they do get upset about it. With him knowing he's adopted, there's questions that he has. That
Mm,
it's not all happy.
right.
It's
It's
not all just
not
acceptance from them. I feel like
correct.
because for
It's
me,
grief, it's
yeah,
loss
yeah.
in a way.
And I don't feel like that's talked about a whole lot, or
Mm-mm.
I've not seen it being talked about.
I've seen both
Also,
sides. I've seen adoption being talked about super negatively and super positively.
that's one side of it that I just hadn't really thought about, and I guess thinking that kids are so acceptant. They accept things so much easier than we do. To
Yeah.
think about them having a hard time with that, like, that kinda
Yeah.
was just not a side that I've ever really thought about.
Mhm.
But I guess go back to the beginning.
Okay. Very, very beginning.
What do I do if you cry? I don't know how to comfort
I don't either,
people.
so I
My
don't.
tism kicks in. Can we just cry and just not talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can, yeah, you
Okay,
just be
hang on,
like,
wait. Did my
Chastity's crying." I probably will cry.
I don't mind you crying.
You can just look at me and be like,
I don't
"You
mind you
little baby."
crying, and I don't mind you seeing me cry. I
Yeah.
just don't know how to say or do anything.
You
Okay.
don't have to do
Okay,
anything, I
good.
don't
I
think.
like to just sit there and cry.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Back to the beginning. Josh and I started trying to have a baby in 2013, roughly, and knew that we had been the whole time with no protection, and knowing that nothing had happened and just kind of having that in the back of
Questioning.
our heads. When we started trying, after a couple of months, I did go to the gynecologist
Okay.
and was like, basically, it's been 6 months that we had been actively trying and nothing was happening. We just always kind of had it in the back of our mind that could be a possibility,
Mhm.
unfortunately. Basically, they did nothing. She said, also another episode,
Mhm. Our
women's
healthcare
health, yeah,
and yeah, women's health
insane,
especially, but
ridiculous. Basically, it's only been 6 months and just keep trying.
I
Just
want to
keep giving it a
say
good old try.
I've been told from some of my other friends that I've had
Mhm.
infertility, that they've had to wait a
Yeah,
year
she said a
before they'll
year.
do.
Did no blood work, did nothing. 14ish, roughly a year later, when we started seeing fertility doctors and ran tests, found out that summer of 2015, we found out we would never it's not possible without IVF for us. Um, that was hard. So we
Yeah.
started a little fund
Mhm.
for IVF. That's 2015, come around to 2018. We've been talking about IVF. We talked about adoption a couple of times. Nothing's happening. Nothing's moving on the IVF. After tests, I found out I have a thyroid issue, also PCOS, things that they could have tested for that very first doctor's appointment and they didn't. They probably could have helped.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not.
It's not necessarily easy to cure those things, but they are
Mhm.
things that could be at least managed with,
Right.
we love a natural remedy,
Yeah.
but also
Yeah.
there is medication that could
Mhm.
help both of those things
Yeah. I mean, not like I'm gonna
that
take
they
it
could have
anyways, but
prescribed. Yeah, okay.
Lexi wasn't gonna talk about that, but I'll say it for myself.
Yeah, you and your timers and
I
your
know.
elderly medicine
Yeah.
container.
Yep, and I
I love
still
that.
don't. I still don't take the medicine.
To be fair, I'm supposed to be taking vitamins too, and I have not in a long
Come
time,
on, get your life together.
but I'm okay right now is the problem. I only take stuff when
Mm.
I'm not okay. I only take my vitamins when I'm
Yeah,
having a minty bee.
yeah. Josh is like,
I'm like, "Ooh,
"You need to take your
need
medicine." "I feel fine."
I'm fine."
"Why did you stop taking your medicine?" "Well, I felt fine."
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh, it's
"Oh, that's
working.
the point."
I'm gonna tell you my question now
Oh,
because I will forget.
okay.
Will you talk about the cost of adoption?
Yeah,
Because I'm curious on that. How
varies.
much, but why as well?
Okay. So, 2018, we had been talking about IVF for years, had been saving money here and there. Um, but 2018, it really kicked off where I was in school, and one day I was at a coffee shop studying for a final.
You're painting the picture so beautifully.
Thank you. Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm picturing you at a coffee shop
At a coffee shop.
in college, like, just
Just
feet bopping
just
around.
thriving.
Ooh, I was not thriving in college. Were you thriving?
No,
Oh,
for
okay.
sure not.
Okay.
No. Uh, and I'm not about to be thriving in college either.
Oh,
Coming up.
yeah, I'm really glad I just live under a rock now.
Those were the
It's
good
by
days.
choice.
So I was at a coffee shop, and I'm a very nosy person. If you're having a conversation around
Oh,
me,
I
boy,
can't
I know
help
it.
it. I
I know it.
can't help it
I
at
have
a
literally
restaurant.
shushed
Me and
Joshua
Coda both
before. I'm like, "Shh,
we have a problem.
I'm listening."
Mid-date mid-date, we realize neither one of us are talking because we're listening to the conversation behind us, and then we leave the restaurant, we're like, "Did you hear what they were talking about?" Coda's my best girl.
Oh, yeah.
He's not gonna appreciate that.
First of all,
I love
Coda, that's
talking
my
tea.
spot.
Yeah. I love talking tea with him, though.
So 2018,
Oh my
I'm in a
gosh,
coffee shop.
sorry.
Yeah.
Told y'all this is gonna be 2 parts.
Yeah. I'm in a coffee shop. I'm a very nosy person, and I hear in the background somebody talking about adoption and foster care, so I started listening. At this point, pretending that I was studying and working on an assignment. I get up, I go to the bathroom, I come back, and I'm gonna walk out the door, and then something stopped me. I don't walk up to people. I'm not a make friends with everybody type of person, but I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, I heard your conversation, and I just want to let you know my husband and I have been struggling with fertility, and we've been talking about foster care or adopting. And I just want to let you know what y'all are doing is amazing." They were talking about fostering through the church. They were talking about how to help foster kids and stuff like that. I was like, I think what y'all are talking about is great. And my husband and I have been thinking about adoption or foster care. We've been struggling with infertility. There was two guys sitting there talking. It ended up being two pastors from two different churches. And one pastor gave me his number and was like, "My wife and I have adopted, and we would love to have dinner with y'all. Here's my number, blah, blah, blah. We would love to have you at church." So I went to the church a couple of times and it just snowballed into we went to church and we met them for lunch and we just started talking more and more about adoption. We finally sat down and was like, "Here's the cost difference between IVF and adoption. Both of them can fluctuate." At the time in 2015, the reason we stalled the IVF, we
Okay.
decided not to do it because at the time, Joshua had very good insurance, and in the policy said that it would pay up to $45,000 for IVF.
Okay.
And you're like, "Wow, that's amazing," right?
But how much do you have to pay first?
Then they give you this breakdown of how much the whole IVF cost, right? And it's still gonna be like 17 grand out of pocket. But you're seeing that they're not billing the whole thing to the insurance. And the way they explained it to me was like, "Your insurance does cover up to $45,000, but we can only bill half of it." And it made no sense to me. And
Yeah.
maybe whoever explained it to me either explained it in a wrong way or maybe I interpreted it
Received it wrong.
in a wrong
Yeah.
way or just to me it came off as we only bill half and then you're responsible for the other half. So
Okay.
it's like $18,000 left out of pocket for IVF. Come 2018, we're like, do we spend? Because afterward, we've talked more about adoption. Adoption costs about the same.
So how much total IVF?
For us
Roundabout.
at that time with that insurance was like between 17 and $18,000 out of pocket.
I have a question. Is it weird to talk about money with how much it costs and stuff like that?
I don't think
Or
so
because
because
that's if I was listening and I just found out all this information, or maybe
mm-hmm,
this was the route that I was
yeah,
thinking about going down or was contemplating anything, that would be
yeah,
one of my Google
yeah,
searches, how much? And I feel like you don't get a for sure, you just get an estimate.
yeah.
So hearing a firsthand experience on the financial aspect,
Hmm.
and I know it varies from like
It
I'm
does
sure
vary.
state to state or
Mhm, yeah, yeah, yeah,
something, but
and we were, like, in Atlanta at one of the best fertility
mhm.
clinics in Atlanta, so it just snowballed into us going to church with them, having lunch, meeting their daughter that was adopted, and hearing about other people in the church who had adopted. We finally had the conversation of, "Okay, so after we've heard what other people have paid for adoption, we say it's roughly the same amount of money at that time with our insurance for IVF versus paying all out of pocket for adoption is roughly the same, depending on what route you go. We weighed the pros and cons of pay the same amount of money and there's some chance that IVF could or could not take. And then you pay the same amount of money and you're for sure
Definitely.
you're coming home with a baby, you know?
Just the wait list. I feel like you see so many advertisement for we need foster care and all this
Mhm.
stuff, but
Mhm.
then you always hear that adoption takes so long for it to
Yes.
go through or
Mhm.
to
Well,
find a baby or kid that is the right
mhm,
match or yeah. So
because every story for adoption and foster care is so different. It varies in the time, and unfortunately, I feel like that's one of the ones or one of the unfairs. Like a couple gets to pick what they want. It just sounds
mhm.
so wrong. Like if I don't know, it just feels so wrong to say that.
Like the playing God aspect. Is that what you mean?
Kind of like I know you have to know what you can take on medically. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But, like,
Yeah.
if something were to come along with a child with special needs or medical needs and you say no, you
Right.
just pass that child up, and that's kinda sad.
I see what you're saying, and I personally feel like everybody would have a different belief on that.
Mhm.
Is playing God when you choose what your baby's eye color is gonna be or, like
That
that,
kinda
like, down
IVF.
to that
Mhm.
nitty-gritty,
Mhm, even the gender.
yeah, like, that to me is too far,
Yeah.
but I don't think what you're talking about is I think I do get what you're saying.
Mhm.
It does feel maybe privilege. It's a
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it's a very privileged
I
way of
feel
looking
wrong
at it.
saying that, but,
Yes.
like,
Mhm.
that yeah,
Yeah.
versus if you're pregnant, you
That
just
is
get what
what
you
it
get.
is.
I've never thought about it like that, but yeah.
So we weighed out the pros and cons of that, and we decided to go the adoption route. So we were going to go through a company in Macon. We filled out paperwork. It was a pretty thick stack of paperwork that we filled out. Had it on our dresser, ready to turn in. And one day woke up, our fish tank that we had had for forever leaked, ruined the whole stack of papers. It was a small fish tank. It wasn't like a massive one. Water was everywhere, and it ruined the whole stack of papers. And that was, I think, early January. Let me say this. December, Christmas, my brother's grandma gave me a necklace. She's Catholic, so the necklace is like a little pendant of the saint of adoption. And I can't remember it. I feel really bad. I can't remember his name, but she gave me that. It was a very emotional thing. Like, she gave it to me. She was crying. I was
Aw.
crying. My mom was crying. It was a whole
Everybody
ordeal.
was
She's
saying
like, I just keep praying that God
mhm.
will do what He needs to do and bless y'all with a baby. I believe we had already filled out the paperwork, but because of the holidays, that was just sitting on our dresser, and the fish tank leaked. And I'm talking thick,
That's crazy.
a lot of paperwork. We were like, what in the world?
Yeah.
And this is why we talk so much about this whole situation. Not, I think, I know this whole situation brought on Joshua's faith
Mhm.
in God, because we were like, what in the world are we going to do? We're going to have to fill out the whole paperwork again. And it was a couple weeks later that we got the phone call about James. Private, not through an adoption agency, just.
Have you ever thought I don't know how far along his birth mother was whenever she found out she was pregnant or, um, like, I guess, contacted the agency, started working with them
There was no agency.
to
It
shoot
was
okay.
all somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody.
Okay. So I
Mhm.
wonder if it's God's hand in play.
Yes.
I wonder if it prolonged y'all turning the papers in and getting something else or going in a different direction just long enough for her
Mhm.
to make
To
her
make a
yeah,
decision.
maybe she didn't know
Mhm.
yet or
Mhm.
she just didn't
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
So it prolonged it just long enough
Just
for her to
enough.
make that decision. Yeah.
Mhm. It's crazy to see how
Mhm.
God works.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I know that everybody has their thoughts on faith and their thoughts on God, but
Yeah.
looking at our situations, you can't see anything else.
Yeah. I
For
agree.
me,
It would
it's
be hard. It would
that's
be
God's
hard to
hand.
deny it. Yeah.
It is very hard to deny it,
Mhm.
and I would never try. You can't convince me it's anything but God. That was January, and by May, he was here.
Oh wow.
He was born in a different state.
So wait, so y'all didn't go 9 months? I mean, I know the whole process was a lot longer than 9 months, but
Mhm.
from when y'all decided to adopt to
Yeah, that was, I think, summer
having him
2018. We decided to adopt. We had another situation before that.
oh,
Soon after we decided to adopt, another situation about a couple of kids.
a couple.
A couple, yeah, that didn't work out.
How old? We're talking like a baby twin situation?
Yeah,
Sibling, like
it was
older
like
siblings?
siblings, and I believe the mom was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
But that did not work out, and I was devastated because that
Yeah,
first one, and I was so excited, and I was pretty
I'm sure.
devastated about that. Um, So we met birth mom in March. He was born in May. We were very lucky. And I'm trying to tell this without telling his whole story, which
Mhm.
is hard, but we were very lucky that the birth mom wanted us to be in the delivery room. So they were a few states away. It was a lot of, in between January and May, it was a lot of meetings with caseworker, background checks. It was
Yes.
like a whirlwind.
Oh,
The
wow.
first few weeks felt so
I did not know
slow.
that.
Once we got the ball rolling on doing the home study and all that,
Mhm.
just went by fast.
That's fantastic, though.
Yeah, but doing a home study, though,
Oh my gosh, I
I'm
can't
like,
even
if
imagine. I
people who
can't
could
even
have
imagine.
biological children had to do these things before they
Oh,
had
yeah.
biological children.
I think it's great that they're trying to make sure that kids are
Mhm,
taken care of and they're gonna have a
mhm.
good life, of
Yeah,
course,
mm,
but like you said, we're not doing this for every single person that has a kid,
right, yeah,
and why not? I
mhm.
mean,
I
because
mean,
there's so
down to
many
gynecology appointments.
yeah, like, it just feels invasive.
Of course, drug tests,
Mhm.
obviously, STD screenings, gynecology appointments, background checks, that obviously background checks you want. Just random doctor's appointments, making sure you're up to date on your vaccinations. Somebody obviously comes into your home
Yeah, does, like, the
multiple
home
times.
check,
You have a few meetings, then you have paperwork to fill out. She meets with you.
or is it just random?
No, they're scheduled. The caseworker will meet with you individually and also separate
Okay.
to see
The
basically
stories
if your
line up and
stories line
everything?
up.
Okay.
Yeah, they're interrogating you. It didn't feel like an interrogation, but
Yeah.
to make sure your stories line up basically on how well you are as a couple and a family, and if you're both gonna work, what daycare are you gonna use, what
That says
schools are
something
in
that
your
y'all passed,
area.
though.
Yeah,
I mean,
true. I never thought of it like that.
you had a professional evaluate. You're like, "You're
And we're
fine."
good.
That should be a sticker for something, you know?
Put that on the back of my car.
Yeah. You have mentioned to me before that his mom was a C-section. You said you're in the
Emergency.
delivery room. Were you able to be there during the C-section
Mm-mm.
or
No,
okay.
that was a whirlwind as well. We were there
You were there for, like,
the whole labor. We're
until
there.
C-section.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, until things are getting ripped off the wall
Yeah,
and
yep. Until it's like,
scary.
"Alright, let's go." That's how Jensen was, but it was
Attic.
quick.
Yeah.
It was so fast.
The C-section itself takes
No
no
time.
time.
Oh, yeah, no time. Baby's out in, like, 15 minutes.
And I felt so bad. So they're ripping things off walls, and Joshua, being who Joshua,
Oh,
in
yeah,
the middle,
yeah.
he's like, "What is going on?"
It probably scared him. Of course, it
Mm,
scared you
mhm.
not knowing, but then it probably scared the crap out of him knowing.
And her mom is also in the room. So she's freaked out, I'm freaked out, he's freaked out, birth mom's probably for
Oh,
sure
yeah.
freaked out.
I had done a lot of C-sections with surge tech.
Yeah.
But I remember my first thought being when they were like, "We're going back for a C-section," and they said that, and it was like they were wheeling me back at the
Mhm.
same moment.
Mhm.
And, I remember my brain just going, "I'm gonna die."
Oh gosh.
Obviously, a
Yeah.
terrible intrusive thought. So they're scary. They're
Mhm.
a bit traumatic.
Thankfully, a nurse came out after they wheeled mom back. She said, "I can take one of your phones and take
Oh, that's
pictures if you'd
great.
like." And I was like, "Oh, that's very sweet." When she came back out, she's like, "Here's a picture." I'm like, "Yeah, that's great. How's mom doing?" Immediately, I feel so
Oh,
bad.
that's so good though.
I was like, "I'm sure he's fine." How's
Yeah.
she doing? Like,
Yeah.
I was very worried about her.
She was drugged up and taking a nap or
She's
feeling good.
she's feeling good.
Hopefully.
I pray. And I don't wanna talk about her too much, but she's amazing. And I
That's
would I
great
would
though.
defend her to the end of my life. Not that I have anything to defend her
Mhm.
against, nobody would ever say anything, but I would woman is amazing. She's a godsend. So he's born May, and because it's in a different state, we have to stay. Like, it's called a
Oh,
ICPC,
yes.
interstate adoption is what it's called.
So why do you have to say?
Basically, when birth mother signs over her rights, that state has to do their paperwork. They send it back to your state for your lawyer and your state to look at. They have to do their paperwork, and then they have to send it back to that state, and then I think that state has to send it back one more time to, "Okay, they're good to travel now."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a
that
lot.
takes a minute.
It does. I
Yeah.
think ours, and it can varies situation to situation. Ours only took about 5 or 6 days,
Oh, really?
so we had to stay in a different state for
Jeez.
5, 6 days.
Yeah, it's not too bad,
Not
I
horrible.
guess. But
Everybody was so accommodating. Yeah,
with a new
so
in a
that's
what, in a hotel or
mhm.
Airbnb or
Yeah,
okay.
in a hotel.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, but that's the other thing is we were great, and I don't wanna call it postpartum,
I don't know what else you would call it.
but in the hotel, it was like a fever dream,
Like a fairy
like
tale.
a fairy
No,
tale.
it's a vacation.
Like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because Coda literally just went back to work, and you almost mourn it. Did Joshua take off any time once y'all were back,
Oh,
or that
no,
was it?
he got to take off a good bit of time.
Oh, that is good.
I don't remember exactly how long. I feel like he was off about the same time Coda has been from that
Like
point
6 to 8 weeks.
to yeah.
I don't wanna talk too much about mine yet. I want you to be able to get yours out. But,
Mm,
I feel like the whole or parental leave feels like
mhm.
vacation
Yeah,
almost, but
like
it
not real
almost has
life.
stages because
Mm,
they just develop so much that first month
mhm,
that at first you're waking up every 2 hours and your
mhm,
hormones are just going up and down. You're not getting a whole lot of sleep,
mhm,
like, everything's more crazy and just
mhm,
in a different stage than now at 6 weeks. This is my 3rd go around. I didn't feel like this the other 2 times, but for me now, I feel like we're just kinda going back to our normal schedules
yeah,
or having to find a new schedule versus how y'all been living for the last 6 to 8 weeks. Because that's definitely enough time to form a routine, and then you're alone with
mhm,
this baby.
yeah,
So
right.
it's definitely a bittersweet,
Yeah.
but it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, we went from being in the hotel, just the 3 of us, in a whole different state,
Mhm,
to when we come home, while I'm very thankful for my mother-in-law and sister-in-law
mhm,
who got our house ready and cooked meals and bought extra things that we didn't really know
mhm.
that we needed, but it was like we went from fairy tale, just the 3 of us, to coming home like whirlwind. Everybody's like a revolving door.
Mm,
Everybody's in and out of your house because obviously they're so excited to meet the
of
baby
course.
as well. But your whole life just changed
Mhm.
from January to May. That was a whirlwind.
I feel like that would be a pro
The
and
home
con, is
Yeah,
that you didn't have 9 months, but you didn't
no,
have 9 months
didn't
to
have 9 months.
mentally prepare
Or
or
just
f
to
and
grow. Like, we
Yeah,
obviously
the
we
mind.
wanted that.
Yeah,
We wanted to have a baby, obviously, and we wanted that life
but
change,
your
but it was
was
like
a
a
big one.
halt.
Your brain was probably so caught up on the paperwork and
Mhm.
legal
Mhm.
aspect, just very logical legal
Mhm.
aspect of it. It didn't have time to. I'm sure you
Like
did contemplate stuff, but it just that wasn't the main focus, all the growth that you necessarily get during that 9 months maybe?
mhm. Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
because I feel like there is a big mindset shift. I feel like mine has shifted each time,
Yeah.
differently. Yeah, I think it would definitely be considered postpartum,
Yeah.
but yeah, just in general and your emotions, you still have all the other I feel strongly about visiting after kids. It just makes me feel, so anxious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you're saying, you appreciate
Absolutely.
all of it. And of course, I would love for you to come
Mm,
over and hold my baby and
yeah.
talk, but it makes me
But
feel
number
like
1,
my
give me
skin
my
is
baby
on
back.
fire. The best thing we did, and I wish I'd done it with both of the other ones, but with
Mhm.
Annie, we didn't have any visitors for 3
Mhm.
weeks, and I'm so mad I didn't do it with the other 2 because then when everybody did come and meet her, it
Mhm.
was enjoyable. I
Mhm.
wasn't so anxious I couldn't breathe the whole
Yeah.
time or
Yeah.
so anxious just cried afterwards.
Mhm.
Yeah, I 10 out of 10 recommend just holding off. At least it
Yeah.
gives your hormones time to go a little bit back to normal.
Mhm.
Also, you've had 3 weeks of it just like you were saying, just being you guys and baby's kinda grown a little bit. I feel like when they start gaining weight, your arms get a little tired. So, you kinda wanna let somebody else hold
Right.
them.
Yeah.
I would recommend.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I just felt like the life we had before for 7 years of marriage just came to a halt, and then you have this tiny little human that you have to
And they are
that you
needy.
yeah, and then you also feel like he's your baby, but he's somebody else's.
Yeah, so the bond wasn't necessarily or did it feel like you were
It was no,
no?
it was like, this is somebody else's baby that they just let you take care
The gratitude and
and,
then imagine how she feels? Okay.
and somebody just gave you their baby, like,
Mhm.
she grew him
Mhm.
from scratch, and then she hands him over, and she's like, "You can raise my baby."
The just overwhelming responsibility.
The,
Yes,
like, needs
responsibility.
yeah, I can't think of the
Do you feel like you set your expectations with parenting too high because of it? Yeah, loaded question. Okay.
Never thought about that, but yeah,
Oh, dang
probably.
gosh, that one therapist was right. I would have been a good therapist. Shoot.
Been trying to tell you.
Coda. Maybe I need to go back to school.
Oh, maybe.
Know
Yeah,
what?
no, I've never
No,
thought about
I'm not
that.
going back to school. So if y'all want me to become a therapist, y'all better get to liking,
For
get to
real.
subscribing.
Just become a unprofessional therapist.
Yeah.
No,
Take
I've
it.
never
Take it
thought
how
about
you
I
will.
do take
But yeah.
parenting so seriously, but yeah, like, I'm
Well, we've
so
talked about, like,
scared to
you
mess
think life's
up.
serious.
Oh god,
I mean,
yeah.
we're all scared to mess up, but,
Yeah.
like, you think life's a bit serious.
Yeah, I could
And
loosen
and
up a
we
little
talked
bit.
about it ain't that
Yeah.
serious, but that would make sense of I would think a big factor in
Mhm.
why your expectations would be high. I don't think they're ridiculously high,
I do need to cut him some slack a little bit.
but I don't know, I feel like sometimes we let our future
Mhm.
expectations of
Mhm.
them get in the way of where they're at right now.
Yeah.
I want them to be great people, but right now I just want them to be a grubby little 4-year-old. Oh, I've gotta
Yeah.
go wake my husband up. Hang
Oh.
on. Back to making you cry. Back
I
to our
did
therapy session.
I know I did not, plan on getting that emotional,
That's okay, you're supposed to be
and
emotional.
I don't ever want anybody to think I'm ungrateful.
No,
No,
yeah.
like, you're like, "Duh, you're responsible for raising somebody." It just feels not different, but I don't know because I don't have biological children, but it just feels, I don't know, like, more serious. That's not a good way to put it.
Okay, but no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That perspective
You're just
sense.
handed something that somebody entrusts you to raise the human that they built from scratch.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's wild.
That's a wild thought for sure. I don't know. You could kind of look at it the same way as God and trust every child to
Yeah.
to
To
who
who
you
the
give them to.
yes. Mhm.
So it's okay to
And yeah, yeah.
Jesus literally gave me
He
Jesus,
did,
the
yeah,
big man
he did.
upstairs,
The boss
said,
man,
"Here,
here's your baby.
here, 3
This
times."
right.
I ain't taking it. I mean, I'm taking it serious. All right, let's not get. I
You are,
ain't.
yeah.
I'm taking it serious. But if he can trust me with it,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
you
And
gonna
that's what I
be
keep trying to
okay.
tell
You're so
myself.
responsible.
Well, God gave you this kid for
Yeah.
a reason.
Enjoy it.
Yes, and I do.
You do.
I do, for sure. I'm a little uptight when it comes to this behavior.
You've got a nice fine line, I feel like.
I hope so.
I feel like you do a good job at praising him when he
Oh, for
does
sure.
good.
And this podcast is sponsored by me.
Thank you.
And
Thank
who
you.
are you?
That would be my loving husband. My so supportive.
Hey, no, really, he
He
is.
really, no, really, he
Like,
is.
he's been sharing your stuff.
I
And first of
know.
all, can we talk about he sprinkled in her best friend?
He
And I
did.
was like, oh my God, I feel so
I think he said. I think there was a
loved.
compliment before best friend. Was there? I think there was.
About me? Probably not.
Yeah, I think so. Conversation do you think you should have with your spouse before having a kid? Is there any of those or something to consider that people don't think about with adoptions?
We just talked about stuff over the years, and um no, I think we had conversations throughout the years. Honestly, he could come back and say something totally different. Sometimes I feel like I block stuff out.
But I genuinely, I'm just like, I don't remember.
The only hard conversation we ever had was when it came to having kids, but it was after we found out about the fertility. And one day he said he didn't know if he wanted to have kids. And I was like, oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute. We've been through all of this. We've been through doctor's appointments and the years of trying. I think it fell. We've been through years of trying, doctor's appointments, all of this stuff, and now you don't know if you want to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
That's a
almost
big
like
step back.
an ultimatum. Like, I was
Mhm.
like, we're having kids
Yeah.
or we're figuring something else out. I didn't mean to be that ugly about it, but that's how it came across to him. And he's given me the same ultimatum in recent years, actually.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Are you
and this is kind of
open
off
to sharing
topic.
like a little bit of where y'all are at with that now?
Yeah.
Is it kind of just put a pin in it, or
So I would love another baby right now, but I'm on the fence.
Right.
I'm a little bit back and
like
forth right
Jesse
now.
as well though?
Like, I don't want another baby, and it's only
Mhm.
because you can't have one. Of course you don't want one. 'Cause you can't have one.
Or it's easier to try to convince
It
yourself
is.
that I don't want one.
But every month when you get your period, you're like,
It's just a slap
doggone
in the
it.
face.
Yeah. But, like, real quick, when in 2023, my first year of teaching on my new job, Joshua finds out he has cancer. Then we're driving to Atlanta, and that's when he decides to bring up a conversation. I think we should think about having more kids. Sir,
Okay, but my brain
read the
immediately
freaking room. You're about to make me a single mother because you have cancer, and you want to talk about more kids? Yes.
My brain went to that. I'm about to be a single mother, and you want more children.
You want more children?
And he's like, "Oh crap! Like we need to have more
We need
kids
to get
right
it.
now.
Yeah, yeah. I
Right
think I
now.
feel like that's how
Yeah,
it
we need to
was.
have
He's
more
like,
kids right now."
right now. Sir, can I make it through this ordeal? But now we're both in school, both working, and James is 6, so we're past the diapers, we're past the wipes and the bottles, and we get to sleep through the night, and he can buckle himself. We're
You're
independent.
getting freedom
He's grown,
on it.
basically. He's about to go get a job tomorrow, and move out.
He wipe his butt.
Yes, he can make his own
How long has it
cereal
been
in the
like
morning.
that?
I would say since last year,
5? God, okay.
but you see my daily struggles,
Yeah.
like, tude-wise.
Yeah.
Independence-wise, there.
It's getting there with Jensen. She's 4.
I mean,
She'll be
aside
5
from,
in
like,
March.
brushing teeth,
But
doing the cleaning your room.
okay, she's a girl. She's
Yeah.
definition of a girl when it
Yeah.
comes to cleaning.
Moms of
You've seen her.
teenagers have told me that the brushing the teeth and the cleaning the room, like, that's just there to stay, especially boys because 'cause they're gross. So we're independent and both in school, both working, but we both would love to have another baby. But it's just one of those things. We talk about it. We really want another one. We don't want James to be an only child. I don't want James's baby experience, as fantastically wonderful as it was, I don't want it to be my only experience raising a child. I don't want his babies, like, his last baby snuggles, I don't want those to be my last baby snuggles. That wasn't enough.
Whenever you were in that stage, did you think to yourself that might be the last one, or
Yes and
not
no.
really thinking? Not really.
Not in the moment. Yes and no. Like, not in the moment, not really.
I've struggled with knowing. It's
Mhm.
kind of. I feel
Mhm.
like I'm kind not in the same boat, but
Mhm.
sort of
Mhm.
with there being anymore. It's
Mhm.
like there could be, but there probably
Mhm.
won't. Our mindsets are the same.
Yeah.
I, of course, for you, and I feel like you're the same way. For
Yeah.
you, I'm like, there will be another one. I don't know when
Yes.
or how, but there will be another one.
Uh-huh.
I need to quit moving my mic. It's running away from me.
It's running away.
My mic's running away. Sorry, so sorry.
Oopsies.
I'm learning. Um,
Mhm.
but I've struggled this time postpartum with that, knowing that she's probably our
Mhm.
last. And I've to just start saying probably, because it's like then there's at least that slight chance. But
There's
that
a yeah.
definite no is too much.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I am grateful, even though it's made it harder. I'm all grateful that I do have that mindset in the moment, because
Mhm.
newborn stage has been so much more,
Mhm.
just given it a lot more grace, and it's been so much
Mhm.
more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Really, even the sleepless nights and all that, it's
Mm.
just you're so lucky you get to do this one more time.
Yeah.
And it,
Mhm.
yeah, rips my heart out, stomp on it, makes me throw up.
Yeah.
But there is a nice appreciation when you know it's your last, or you
Yeah.
have that in the moment.
For sure.
Like,
I
'cause
think about it
you get
now.
frustrated, especially
Yeah.
like when you have a newborn, you can't help
Mhm.
it. You're just tired, and
You're
you have those.
exhausted.
I've not had many moments like this time, but I know with all of them, there's been at least a couple times where I'm like, please just go to sleep. Please quit crying and go to
Mhm.
sleep.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my girls have not been criers, but with
Yeah.
Augie, like Augie was a hard newborn.
Yeah.
I would just be so frustrated, and I'd feel
Mhm.
bad that I was frustrated,
Well
because you're not frustrated with the baby, but you
Right.
feel frustrated at them.
Mm.
But with this time, I feel like I've not been there that many times at all, maybe twice,
Mm.
and it's just because I've been so tired. But I feel like this postpartum was really nice. I'm excited to talk about
Good.
it.
I love that for you. I really do. I just struggle right now with I absolutely would love another baby, and Josh is gonna be like, "What? First
You
time
do though.
hearing of
He doesn't
that."
know. He doesn't know that you would love another baby.
Uh,
Is this a secret you just told me, Janelle and Harley and
yeah,
Brandy?
probably. Yeah, I feel like I've told him like I would love I've told him I struggle. I would love another baby, but at the same time, freedom
Mhm.
that James is giving us right now, and I've found a career that I
Mhm.
love. Now I'm going to school. I struggle more so with I wouldn't want to quit my job, but I stayed home with James,
Mhm.
and it would rip my heart to shreds if I didn't stay home with
Yeah.
our second baby. But I don't want to leave my job. I love my job. And I never thought I'd be that kind of career woman. I'd struggle with somebody else
I
raising
think
my
it would
baby.
be I think it would be something you could struggle with though, and it would be one of those struggles that you just kind of learn to deal with.
There's working moms out there.
And they're not gonna know the difference. Like
No,
the kids aren't gonna know the difference.
my bank account will.
But yeah, for sure. Maybe we'll just have our compound.
Literally. Yeah, I'd be okay with you raising my baby. But
I might do an okay job. I don't know. We'll see in 20 years.
girl, yeah,
We'll see in 20 years.
we have to wait so long for our outcome. So I just struggle with, you know, I would like my womb hurts, like aches,
Yeah.
heart. Like that's such a weird thing to say,
But it is
but
physical. It's almost
it's
so
physical. It
emotional.
makes
It's
me want to
physical.
throw up.
Yeah.
Seeing James with other babies.
Mhm. Not Jensen. Not Jensen. She doesn't count.
No,
Jensen doesn't
God,
count.
they fight like
They're
siblings.
gonna they are
Even though
hopefully
they are going to get
gonna
married one day.
one day. I don't know. I don't know. We might be better be careful what we wish
For
for.
real.
Might be
Might turn on us.
might better just calm that down a little bit, because I'm having a domestic violence case.
She probably would too.
Stop it! I said stop touching me. Oh my god. Well, I've had 3 kids in 5 years, less than 5 years.
Whoa, that's crazy to think about.
I've had 2 kids in under 2 years, which is
Yes.
you hear 2 under 2 so
Mhm.
often. But to really think about, okay, I've
Wow.
had 2 humans,
Because
2
I still
people
keep
in 2
because Augie
years.
is so big, I still keep thinking he's almost 3.
Me too. Me too. But I'm also like, he was just born.
Right.
But with Jensen, my baby fever, us talking about it and all that good stuff,
Mhm.
I feel like I had secret baby fever
Mhm.
for probably 6 months to a year before being like, "Hey, Cobra, we should have a baby."
Mhm.
And then that was rental house era. So my party era, first year of marriage, was probably not our best year, and
Yeah.
we were still babies, 19 and
Mhm.
20. So literally before we were both 21, we
Mhm.
had our party era just out the way, and
I
it
mean,
had been going for a while. But
at least it didn't last forever.
I'm telling you, I'm 80 because I was tired. We moved in 2019, November 2019, and we had her March of 2021.
Mhm.
So there wasn't too long in between us moving here and living just me and him
Mhm.
to us getting pregnant and having her.
Mm.
With her, it was all pretty normal. She was like the God joke pregnancy kind of thing, because I was never sick with her. I only gained like 25 pounds. Yeah, it was super easy besides diabetes, but that was a blessing in disguise, to be honest.
Mhm.
They induced me, and I did not have a good round with induction at all. They induced me because she was gonna be too big. She ended up being 7'4". She was small. She
Yeah.
dropped down to 6'10". So I'm like,
Oh,
she could have
yeah.
hooked a while.
Yeah.
So they induced me, and I'm gonna make it somewhat short. After about 12 hours of the induction process, I'd say at least 8 hours of constant contractions.
Oh,
Those Pitocin contractions about killed me.
you're about to take the baby fever right out my
Yeah.
body.
Okay. All right. All right.
Perfect.
Listen up. Listen up. You want the baby fever taken out? I got you. All right. This is about to get graphic.
Oh,
This is
yay.
about. I'm gonna keep it PG-13, but maybe don't listen. Maybe not suitable for younger listening ears.
If your babies are in the car, drop them off at
Yeah.
school.
Where was I going? 8 hours of constant contractions. You haven't eaten anything, and I mean constant. They were constant. You could watch the monitor. It looks like a hill and just go up and trickle down and then immediately go back up. Coda
Gosh.
was rubbing a tennis ball on my back. He was doing counter pressure the whole
Mhm.
time. He did it. He stuck it through and did it the whole time. And it did help.
Mm.
Not a lot, but
Did you
it
get
did help.
frustrated with him?
No, I just didn't want to talk. I just don't want to talk. Whenever I'm in pain, any kind of pain, or if I'm not having a good time,
Yeah.
I just get quiet, and because I'm dissociating is what it is. I'm just trying to not be where I'm at. So I definitely think I dissociated through a lot of it.
I
To be
wish I could do
honest,
that on command.
I don't. It kind of freaks me out that I can, to
Yeah.
be honest, but
Yeah.
it helps. So I'm not gonna complain. Went through the contractions and everything. It was the next morning at like 6 a.m. I started puking. That's where it really got me. I started dry heaving on top of the contractions. I remember feeling like I had to poop. That was the first thing. And I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I was still good at that point.
Yeah.
I've got to poop, but I keep coming in here and nothing's going on, and I don't understand, and I don't know how I'm gonna wipe my butt with this IV in my hand. And I was so nervous. I'm so weird about that. I was not gonna have a nurse wipe my butt.
Right.
And I don't care if that was your job. I cannot do it. I
Right.
just can't. I was kind of freaking out about that. They come in, they do their medical stuff, and then they go out, and they're just like, "Okay, do your thing. I'll come back in a few hours." But nobody's there to be like, "Okay, you want to try this, or
Mhm.
you want to do this, or let's talk. Where we at? What we're doing? Nothing for hours. Just come in, check on you. How you doing, baby? You look good. Great. Okay.
Wait,
Call us
no.
if you need us. There's no coach. You have to ask everything, and they'll tell you when they come in what they're doing and kind of what's going on. But like I said, that's hours in
Is
between.
that universal?
I have no idea.
No, I don't think so.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I photographed a birth, and hers was not like that.
I wish yeah, that was with Jensen.
Oh
That
my
was just like,
goodness.
and all of my nurses, so sweet.
And you're
Love
so
them.
young. You were so
Oh
young though,
yeah.
and they didn't help you through that?
No.
Oh,
No,
no,
I'm
you should
assuming
have
that's everybody's
rioted.
experience. And
No,
like I said,
I
they
don't
were
think
all
so.
so sweet. But
Yeah.
I for sure was gonna
Okay, you're
have to
great.
say, what are you doing now? Or where are
You
we
had to ask
at? Like
questions instead of them
yeah,
just
or instead of being like,
proactively.
"Hey, do you wanna" I mean, I'm in
Mhm.
an induction for 12 hours. Like, you'll think, "Okay, you're not really" they're checking me, nothing. And then
Mhm.
the next morning, I was like, "Alright, I'm ready for the epidural. I'm over it. I'm puking. I'm done." She checked me, I was at 1 centimeter. So, like, they've checked me all throughout the night. You would think, "Okay, you're not really
Mhm.
progressing.
Mhm. Let's
You
do
wanna try
something.
walking around, or you wanna try to do
Walking, the
something?" Like,
peanut
no,
ball, the
just lay
yoga
there in
ball.
misery and
No.
contract. That was pretty much it.
No,
I
bad
watched
experience.
videos when you're in that much pain. I didn't have the willpower to be like,
To
"Oh, let me get up."
breathe.
I just had the
Yeah.
willpower to dissociate
Yeah.
and let Coda rub that tennis ball on my back. COVID's a big thing at this
Mhm.
point, real
Yeah.
big thing at this point. But my midwife was like, "Are you sure?" Because I had talked the whole time about wanting to do it naturally, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I'm at 1 centimeter, and I have been doing this for 12 hours. Got the shakes,
Oh.
throwing up. I'm
Oh.
done. I got the epidural. I did do pain medicine. So I'm like, wow, you made it to 1 centimeter. But
Mhm.
anybody that's had the pitocin contractions can verify
I've heard they are
they
worse.
are so painful,
Mm.
and just the constant has a
Mhm.
big play in it. But got the epidural, and they said that he had to stick me 3 times. I never felt it. I guess
Wow.
just puking and having contractions
Mhm.
and just didn't feel it. I was crying. I remember being like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Crying and dry heaving as he's trying to do it,
Oh
and I'm
my
like, "I'm sorry."
gosh.
And at the moment, I
Terrified.
wasn't present enough to be scared, but I'm not supposed to be moving. I feel like I'm gonna get paralyzed because 'cause I'm literally throwing up, and
Mhm.
I couldn't feel what he was doing, so I didn't know
Mhm.
when he was touching me or not. I don't know, it was just real chaotic. Like, Coda wasn't there, he's my safety blanket. Like I said, fantastic medical team, like, they were all
Mhm.
super nice, but it's a lot.
Mhm.
And they were like, "Oh, we can't find her heartbeat."
What?
I just got the epidural, they broke my water. When
Mhm.
they break your water, I've never had my water actually break,
Mhm.
but when they broke my water, it felt like I was sitting in a warm kiddie pool. It felt like water was just gushing out constantly,
Gross.
and she had me on, like, a puppy pad. Gross. Had me on a puppy pad, and she was like, "Okay, you can, like, your feet back up on the bed or whatever," and I was like, "If I move, I can feel it's gonna I'm gonna
Oh,
flood this
no.
place." She was like, "It's okay. That's what's supposed to happen." So I did, and I did. It just so much. I would have never imagined there being this much fluid in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't long after that. I'm feeling good. Coda, of course, says time was a little bit longer because at this point I'd already had pain medicine. I did
Mhm.
try to do pain meds before epidural, IV
Mhm.
pain meds, and it worked really good the first go around. It worked for the full, I'd say 4 hours. I was able to get a small nap in, but it went so fast.
Yeah.
Then it wore off. I got them again, and it only worked for like 45 minutes.
Oh,
But you
no.
still can't have any more medicine for 4 hours.
Right.
So I was just screwed. That was tennis ball time. Not long after my water broke, they couldn't find her heartbeat. Numb from the epidural, and they were
Mhm.
like, "Get on all fours." They were having to check, and they had to do the internal monitor. I was able to get up on all fours somehow. I'm sure they had to
Wow.
help me because your
Yeah.
legs just feel like 1,000 pounds, and you'll sit there, and your brain can literally be like, "Okay, move your
Mhm.
legs," and nothing.
Nothing.
There's not like nothing. It's like the connection's just
Mhm.
broken.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I'm trying. They're moving you around, and you just feel like you're 1,000 pounds. It also makes me super nauseous. I had more throwing up on top of it. That was just beautiful. Jensen's was probably the most traumatic, if you
I'll
can't tell.
say.
I don't ever think about it. I did the internal monitor because they lost her heartbeat. I was
Mhm.
drugged up at this point, so this is
Mhm.
all fragmented. That's when they were like, "Okay, we gotta go back." They rolled me back to the emergency C-section. I was still on all fours
They're just
monitor.
rolling you down the hallway.
They were unhooking stuff. It just went
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fast, and they all worked together as a team.
Yep.
It's beautiful, but
And
it's also terrifying,
Will's
and me and Coda didn't ever really talk about it,
mm,
but maybe a year or 2 ago, we did kinda talk about it. I was like,
mhm.
"How was your experience the first time?" Because he wasn't in there for the epidural, and then he was in there for a short period. We were just
Mhm.
about to text my mom and say, "You can come up here." That's when C-section happened, so I'm sure it scared the crap out of my mom
Yeah.
too, getting text updates and
Mhm.
then just nothing for
Yeah.
probably 2 hours or so. Because like you said, the babies come really quickly, but then
Mhm.
they stitch you up. The whole thing probably takes an hour, maybe like 15 minutes to get going and get baby out, and then 45 of stitching you up and getting you moved. And immediately after the C-section, like I said, my intrusive thought I was gonna die. But once we moved past that, I don't think I did puke on the operating table.
But
Jensen.
thankfully,
Yes. Oh, that would have been not fun.
awful.
I think I did get nauseous, but I don't think I actually puked. And then she was out. I did hear her crying, but they took her over. The cord got wrapped, is what it was.
Mhm.
So cord had gotten wrapped, and they took her over and they brought her to me for a second. But she went to the nursery pretty quickly.
Mhm.
I don't remember if it was because she was a diabetes baby or if
Mhm.
it was because of the cord or what it was that they had to take her. Like I didn't get to keep her for skin to skin. I only got to see her for a couple minutes, and then they took her back, and Coda goes with him. So then you're left,
Just wide
and
open on the
yeah,
table.
you are really medicated. So taking a nap is such a good option, but
Mhm.
you can still hear them because you're not really asleep. You just hear everybody talking about
Yeah.
their day, and it's just so weird. It's
Mhm.
so weird for me. I do think I dissociate a lot
Yeah.
because thinking about it now, I'm like so odd that you just laying out
Yeah.
just your organs on the table.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know. But that was the first go around, and I didn't get her back until we were already in postpartum, so it was a couple
mhm.
hours, and I think that played a huge role. I really think the whole experience in general played a huge role in how long my postpartum lasted. I had
Mhm.
postpartum terrible with her, but I wow, how rude.
Honestly.
But I had postpartum terrible with her,
Yeah.
and it lasted a long time. I definitely think if we'd had more skin to skin and being a first time mom
Mhm.
and having kind of a traumatic birth experience
Mhm.
and not having skin to skin right off the bat and all that, I can see why my postpartum lasted as long as it did.
Right.
I had postpartum, I would say, like 14 months with
Mhm.
Jensen. It was a
Hey.
long time. Right after, I could slightly feel myself feeling better, having
Mm.
the energy to work on feeling better. That's when we started talking about trying for Augie. So we were like, we'll start trying by the time she's 2.
Mhm.
We should be pregnant. I did a little bit of a health journey, and it took
Mhm.
us 3 months to get pregnant with him. So
Mhm.
not terribly long. Um, no, honestly, I think it took 3 months with her and 2 months with him,
Mhm.
and because we didn't think we were gonna get pregnant as quickly as we did,
Yeah.
quicker than what we did with her.
Mhm.
Because we were like, "Oh, we'll start trying, but it'll take a little bit,"
Mhm.
and it didn't, and we were like, "Oh,
Oopsie.
okay,
Fertile Myrtle over
yeah,
here.
nice to meet you." And it was so weird with him because I was so excited about us expanding and getting pregnant again. So excited. I was finally feeling better mentally.
Mhm.
And it's just such a high. I feel like when you know you've been low for so long and then
Yeah.
you feel so much better. So I was riding that out. And I got pregnant and it was like immediately just back in the trenches mentally.
Mhm.
But I didn't realize what had happened or when it happened. But it finally clicked, I think, right at the beginning of my second trimester that I felt just like I did when I had postpartum,
Mm.
immediately right back there. And I didn't know that prenatal depression was a thing.
Oh,
It's basically just like postpartum, but
I
it's
mean,
during it. And I asked my OB, any chance I skip out on actual postpartum? And she was
mhm,
like, no. If you've got prenatal, you're probably going to have postpartum. And I was like,
mhm,
well, that really sucks for me.
mhm, yeah,
Wow, ruined me
mm,
now. Thankfully, I ended up not having postpartum
yeah.
with him. I just had baby blues with him.
Can
I ended up
you
taking my vitamins and
can you explain the difference between postpartum and baby blues? How does it
okay,
feel
yeah.
different?
Yeah. So postpartum is longer.
Mhm,
Baby blues is basically now, I could be wrong,
mhm,
but to my knowledge, baby blues is the first 2 weeks, and it's more hormonally driven. Your hormones do the biggest dip. They're at the lowest they ever possibly will be right
mhm,
after you have a baby during that 2 weeks. And they go from being the highest they will ever be while
mhm,
you're pregnant to dropping rock bottom. You're gonna feel sad. And
right.
it's so weird. For me, it's like I didn't even feel sad necessarily.
Mm.
It feels like grief. That's what it feels like.
Oh,
Yeah, it almost
yeah,
feels like grief. Yeah.
'cause I don't like that feeling.
It almost feels like grief. You almost feel raw to the touch. It's so weird. You almost just feel like you could break. Somebody's cut you and you're gonna break. Or
Oh.
you could break. You're so happy. You're so happy. It's so
What a
insane.
roller
And
coaster.
you're sleep deprived.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
postpartum, like I said, I think we're gonna have to do 2 parts and, like, come back to my
Mhm,
postpartum and your postpartum because
mhm,
I could talk for days on postpartum.
yeah,
Okay, so I got prenatal, doggy, and I started
mhm,
taking vitamins. That's when I found my duo of vitamins that
yeah.
I swear by. I'll just drop them. I'm no doctor, but vitamin D, if you're not getting enough vitamin D, you need to go outside or
Uh-huh,
start taking some supplements, and we
yeah,
all need it.
mhm,
Then magnesium L-threonate. Oh my gosh.
mhm,
If you know me, you know how much I love them, and you're
yeah,
tired of hearing about it. Just order them. Magnesium L-threonate actually passes the blood-brain barrier to help with the mental health.
mhm,
So, highly recommend that. 'Cause medicines just never worked for me, so
mhm,
highly recommend those vitamins, and you can't take it while you're pregnant, but L-theanine. L-theanine, vitamin D, and magnesium L-threonate are my trio that
okay.
I will swear by
She loves it.
as an unmedicated major depressive disorder individual. Yes, I love those. Yeah, but it helped once I realized that's what was going on, and I was like,
Mhm,
"Oh, okay, well, I'm just depressed. We've been there.
mhm,
I've been there before. I can deal with that." But it's when you are depressed, but you don't realize
mm.
that's what the first trimester of him, and I was also nauseous with him, and I was so scared because we couldn't find a name. That was lovely. I wanted to be a VBAC. I didn't make it to the first appointment before I talked myself out of that. I was like,
Yeah.
"Mm-mm, nope, never
Just
mind."
kidding. No.
Scare I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I really wish I could have experienced a vaginal birth. I don't know why, but I just feel
I mean, it's
like
just
I don't know. Obviously, I've had 3 C-sections.
mm,
It's not nothing, but I just feel like it's something that I should have experienced and I didn't
yeah,
get to,
you
and I
do.
won't be able to.
Mhm,
Just realistically, like,
right.
that's not in my cards.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of mourning.
yeah,
It's a lot of mourning.
yeah.
He was the planned C-section, and I swore he was gonna come early. I got huge with him. We
Mhm,
swore for about 35 weeks, contractions all the time.
mhm,
Um, and they weren't even Braxton Hicks. They were legitimate, just preterm contractions that
yeah,
just would go away.
yeah,
So I swore he was gonna come early. He didn't. Now looking back, I realized that my body was just going into labor. It was just I didn't know that, but here it's about to get real TMI. The day of having him, we had like our last day as a family of 3.
yeah.
And so we went to Aldi's. We had just gotten Aldi's, I feel like.
Mhm,
We went to Aldi's and got some snacks and stuff like that, and then we took her to the park and just spent the day together. But I
mhm.
remember at Aldi's, I almost pooped my pants.
Oh.
Like my grandma doesn't live far from Aldi's, and we had gotten a coffee
Oh, yeah.
before,
That didn't help.
but it was different than your coffee. I said, "Oh no," I was like, "You're gonna have to
Uh-oh.
take me to my grandma's house. I'm not making it home.
Yeah.
Like you've got to take me somewhere." And there has never been another like that episode of
Oh,
stomach ache. That's all I'm gonna say. Once it was over, everything was fine. Just
thank
went back to my
goodness.
day. I
Yeah.
didn't know what was going on. I'm pretty sure that was my body being like, "Okay, we're going into labor now." Like I said, I'd had contractions, but they were just normal at that point. So
Mhm,
I was having like Braxton Hicks and stuff like that. Didn't think much of it, but I was so anxious. My body was anxious, not mentally. And you would think, knowing that you're about to have a C-section, you're anxious mentally,
mhm,
but I wasn't. My mind was really calm. My body felt so anxious, like shaky.
mhm,
Around midnight, I lost my mucus plug and went into contractions. Ended up going into the hospital hours early from when I
mhm,
was scheduled, and they tried to stop it, which I think is kinda silly. Why not
mhm. Yeah,
just go ahead and take me
just
back?
let it be.
But he was coming. When I tell you his contractions hurt different I don't know if it
Mhm.
was because they were just natural, no Pitocin or anything, but all I knew was the Pitocin contractions. I felt these he felt like he was coming. He meant business when he started coming. Yeah, nothing was stopping him. It felt like my girl was going to literally just leave my body, explode. Like, his head had so much pressure behind it.
Oh,
It felt like it was gonna explode. I kept feeling like I had to pee,
yeah.
and they put the catheter in. The catheter
Mhm.
really wasn't that painful being put in, but I could just feel it because his head
Mhm.
was sitting on it.
Oh,
So it was uncomfortable. With the
I can imagine.
IVs, I have really bad veins, and they had to
Mhm.
do the, like, ultrasound to find a vein,
Mhm.
but I had really great nurses. I literally told the nurse, I said, "Give me the drugs. I wasn't supposed to
Mm.
do this. I was supposed to be here in a couple hours pain-free, okay? I wasn't supposed to go through this part." And so they got it going and got back in the C-section. They got him out, and they didn't bring him over to me at first. They took him straight to the little nursery stand. We're cleaning him off and everything, but he didn't cry. He
Mhm.
didn't cry, like, at all for a while. I
Yeah.
think he may have let out, like, one little,
Uh-huh.
but that was it, and it was just quiet. Coda goes over there to do the fake umbilical cord
Yeah.
cutting. So he's over there with a baby, and he's taking pictures and everything, but he's not crying, so I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And I've already puked. I puked on the operating table, so I puked
Oh,
all in my
bless you.
hair. And I'm, like, just listening to the anesthesiologist talk about the everyday stuff, and I was like, "Is he good? Like, can y'all tell me what's going
Mhm.
on?" And he was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, it looks like he's gonna need a little bit of oxygen, but it's not too low. Like, he looks okay."
Mhm.
But I can't hear him.
That's
That's
the problem
terrifying.
to me.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Mm.
I do remember when they come out, they were like, "Oh, he's a big boy. He's a football player," and he was.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
9'3". Yeah, but he was a big boy, and that just scared the crap out of me, and
Mhm.
so I didn't get him either. They finally brought him over and then took him back to get oxygen. I did get him while we were still in labor and delivery, so not
Mhm.
too long. With Annie, she was for sure scheduled C-section,
Yeah.
new date and everything for a
Mhm.
while. But same thing, I'd been having contractions with her since about
Contractions.
35 weeks. Put me in the hospital,
Mhm.
contractions. I kept
That's
getting dehydrated is
yeah.
what it was, and then contractions, but they would
Mhm.
stop them. Finally, I was like, "She's not coming early." At this point, she's not coming
Right.
early. Did all of our last day as a family of 4. Went and ate out to eat, all that good stuff. I don't sleep the night before having them, so
Mhm.
just did all that busy work. We got in the truck, left, and on the way there, I was like, "Oh, I'm having some contractions."
Mm.
They were just very light. I could just feel the rhythm. They just
Yes.
flow. They literally look like a wave on the monitor, and that's what they
Mhm.
feel like. They feel like that wave, if that makes sense. So it's
Yeah.
like this build up, lightning
Mhm.
that just builds up, and you just kind of feel it
What
go
goes
back
slow?
down. So
Oh.
it's that wave. I could kind of feel them, but I wasn't in pain by no means. Went in, all that good stuff, and they were getting me in the computer. Oh my goodness. I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna tell you because nobody told me and I wish somebody would have. Just groom before a scheduled C-section. Why they would not tell me that, I don't know.
Right.
I just thought because then when I assisted in the C-sections, we always just did a little swooperoonie, took some tape and it was gone and you would have never known.
Mhm.
Okay, well, as one nurse is putting me in the computer, the other nurse is shaving my girl while Coda's sitting there on his phone. I don't even think he was on his phone if we're being honest. But you know how small a hospital room is? So then you're sitting there answering questions knowing you were just shaven to like a bald cat, just just embarrassed in front of my husband. I said, "I ain't never been so
That's
embarrassed."
mind you, this is their 3rd kid together.
Yes. I said I would never tell I said, "You know what? I wish I would have known." So, yeah, that was fun.
They didn't do that the first 2 times?
No,
Well, it made a
I don't know.
difference. That's crazy.
I don't know. Real weird. Wasn't a 10 out of 10. She asked if I was having any contractions, and I was like, "Yeah, I probably had about 4 since talking to you." She was like, "Oh, let's get you on the monitor." I said, "Okay."
Mhm.
So, our hospital, God bless them, everybody that works there, I just my heart goes out to them because they
Mm.
know how janky it is. You can
Mhm.
tell. And
Yeah.
they're all just so sweet and kind. They brought in a
Gosh.
monitor that they had to rig up. I don't even know what they did, but they had to rig it up, and she didn't ever participate on the monitor very well.
Mhm.
But I ended up having contractions every 2 minutes by 7,
Oh.
and they were worried my water was gonna break, so they
Yeah.
started getting me ready and doing
Mhm.
the catheter. They couldn't get the catheter in because of how swollen. That hurt more than the contractions.
Mhm.
I was gaslighting
Mm,
myself. I was
yeah.
like, "You're being a baby. How dramatic. This doesn't really hurt."
Mm, girl,
I was
mind
gaslighting
you,
myself,
no, that
gaslighting
must
myself.
probably
I was
really
like,
hurt.
"Wow." That's when I got that's when I was getting tears.
Yeah.
I was squeezing the bed. I wasn't boohoo crying, but definitely
Mhm.
tears rolling. "Don't talk to me. I wanna
Mhm.
hold on to that bed because it's
It's
hard and, like, I feel like
hard.
I can't break it."
Mm.
That was the worst part. I got my favorite anesthesiologist. He was so nice, and he just talked to me the whole time, and his wife had, like, 5 kids. I worked with him a lot during surge tech school. They have, like, 5
Mhm.
kids, instead, homeschool. I would love to meet his wife. I bet she's just darling. But the whole time before they bring Coda back, he's talking to me, and I was telling him I get sick and everything. He was just on top of everything. He told me every step that was going on.
Mhm.
And then while we're waiting on them to get the baby out, I didn't have time to be nervous. He was informing
That's
me
good.
so much that I didn't feel nervous. But yeah, he was really nice. And Coda came, Coda was right there. And once Annie came out, I feel like our postpartum and our birth experience with her has been very healing.
Mhm.
Very healing. She cried immediately, and
Mhm.
they brought her over to me, and they actually let me hold her. I'd never held one of them on the operating
Oh,
table.
yeah.
I was kinda scared because, for one, you're so medicated. Like,
Mm.
my eyes are just barely open. You don't feel very present, and I can
Mhm.
recall it, but you are out of it,
Yeah.
thank God. I couldn't
No
imagine not
kidding.
being out of
No.
it.
God knew what he was doing. Honestly, I say
Oh,
this. My
yes.
pain tolerance is not it
Mine's
at all,
decent.
so
I don't wanna sound like one of those people, but I
Mhm.
do have a decent pain
I
tolerance,
do not.
and
Monthly
it was a
cramps
lot.
take me out,
I don't get bad cramps.
like, shoot down my leg.
But I got to hold her, and it was so funny when she come out, she was licking her lips. It was
Oh.
so cute. What are you supposed to say when they first come out? What are your first words
Hi.
to them? So weird. Like,
I've never thought
I'm
about that.
sorry, like, you're not
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
clearly, got the pressure
The
of
parents
saying what
Yeah, yeah.
to your kid. I guess anything. I
Luckily, they
think
don't know.
I think each time it's just cringed me out. I'm like, I
Mhm.
hope nobody else heard that.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I mean, it's been sweet, but I'm like, "What you said?"
Yeah.
But I got to hold her the whole time up until postpartum. They let me hold her, and then I think they did do like one baby check where they took her to the nursery, but it
Mhm.
was a while, like hours after. So I got to hold her the whole time.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So it was very nice. And our hospital stay, I don't feel like they took her out of the room as much.
Mhm.
I feel like with August and Jensen, they constantly were coming in and taking them in and out.
Mhm.
But with her, I don't feel like she left.
It sounds like your
But
experience with her was
yeah, much better.
yeah,
Much
all
better. I didn't want
around.
to leave. I was like, I don't want to go home.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
And they just send you home. Like, good
Yeah.
luck.
They do. They're like, all
You
right,
just had
bye.
this whole person.
So weird. I didn't think about how emotional like, I did, but
Mhm.
not what exactly would be emotional about it, but, oh my god, that last pull out
Uh,
ruined me. I'm trying to hold it together because I
it's
don't want her to think I
sad.
cried, but I'm like, "Oh, you're just pushing me out this last time."
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, the ride home. I
Oh.
don't know how it feels after you push a kid out your hoo-ha. I'm imagining it's not great, okay?
Yeah.
But after a C-section, it feels like your insides are Jello.
Oh.
They're not attached. I don't care what they
Oh.
say. I'm like, "Go slow. Go
Oh
slow.
my gosh.
Don't hit a bump.
Yeah.
Pave the way home because you hit it like, you better just hold your belly, and then
Oh,
you're so anxious because there's a little human. I already have wreck PTSD, so all you can think about is that somebody's gonna hit me,
mhm.
and I'm just gonna be screwed. It's definitely, I feel
That's a
like, been
lot.
so emotional each time,
Mhm.
but for different reasons, and while hers has been so bittersweet,
Mhm.
it's also been healing, and I'm really thankful for that. Because
Yeah.
if she is our last, like, at least it's like I said, I could talk forever about pregnancy and birth
Mhm.
and postpartum, but just timeline of how those went,
Yeah.
not even the emotional side of it or mindset shift. Now postpartum, postpartum, that's a different beast, and I'm so anxious to hear about because it's different.
I feel like mine was a little blip. I can't compare to
And
people who
the
have actual hormones who make them feel like absolute
They do, but they also play a role in keeping us up at night. I do have to add in that while I was pregnant with Jensen in the hospital, they give you stool softeners the whole time. And with Jensen, I was like, I'm not pooping. They give you a whole bunch of stuff, a whole
Mhm.
bunch of medicine. You're on IV pain meds,
Mhm.
prenatals, iron. You're on a whole lot. But with Jensen, I was like, I'm not pooping in her. I don't think about how many abdominal muscles when you go
Yep.
to turn.
Mhm.
So I couldn't do it. And then I dang sure wasn't asking Coda to do it. And I dang sure wasn't having a nurse do it. So
Oh, no.
I just was gonna have to not. So this time around, my nurse, and it was the one I liked that was asking me questions and everything in the
Mhm.
beginning. She was like, "Have you had a bowel movement?" And I said, "No." Actually, I was very confident, if we're being
Mhm.
honest. I said, "No, and I'm not gonna," because I hadn't either of the other two times. I said, "No, and I'm not gonna." She said, "Okay, well, I just was making sure because you don't have to take the stool softener if you do." And I said, "Oh, very good to
Oh.
know." Let's just say she was my night nurse that night. That was at the beginning of her shift, about 7, and about 5 in the morning.
Mhm.
It was really bad. It was white chicks. It
Uh
was it was white chicks. My newborn and sleeping cousin were in the next room in thinner walls than a hotel room. Embarrassed, embarrassed, so
Way,
embarrassed.
yeah.
I was like, "How
Not
am I gonna walk
ladylike.
out of this bathroom
Yeah.
after this? Like,
Am I gonna
how do I
look my
recover?
husband in the
How am I
face?
just gonna go start taking care of my child now? How am I gonna go back to just watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?" But the biggest panic set in because I really didn't know how I was gonna wipe my butt,
Yeah.
okay? I couldn't turn. I couldn't even call my mom. It was so early in the morning, and she had my other 2 kids. What am
Yeah.
I gonna do? Call her and be like, wake my kids up, get them out of bed. By the
And come
time
wipe my
she
butt,
got there,
please.
I could have just figured something else. I was like, okay,
They
I can
should
do
put
this.
bidets in the
They
hospitals.
should. They don't. They give you a Perry bottle, which is, I was like, okay. I was like, all
Yeah.
right, a Perry
We can
bottle.
work something out with that.
So, girls, if you're planning on having a C-section, this is the only time that I finally was like, okay, now I see why they tell you to bring it. Was
Mhm.
the Freedom Moms Perry
Okay.
bottle. I understand now. If you're a planned C-section, get the Perry bottle.
Yes, and take it to the
Just,
hospital. Put
I hope I never find out, but I kind of wonder if they could hear me in the hallway because not 5 minutes afterwards, here comes my nurse, and I was like,
I've enjoyed sharing our birth stories.
yes,
I hope you enjoyed it.
send us yours.
Your birth stories were beautiful.
Thanks. It's
Dramatic and beautiful,
thank you.
as I'm sure everybody else's is. And we would love to hear them.
So email us your birth stories so we can cry together at bring it to your sisters with an S 25 at gmail.com.
Toodles. Love you.
Bye. Good morning.
Get out of here.